Hello my friends, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you the game I have created using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and also I'm going to take you through the code I have written. So I'm going to explain the code after I show the game to you. So you can see on the screen a message tells us welcome, and you can see a black button on the screen that says us to click here or press enter to play. So I'm going to click on that button. Now you can see the boys is standing. This is a simple game. So all we have to do is we need to press enter to start the game, and we can use space bar to jump. Some obstacles come towards the boy, and we need to protect the boy by jumping over those obstacles. You can see a text in the top right corner, so that says distance colon 0 meters. That word is going to show you the maximum distance you have run. So let's start the game. You can start the game by pressing the space bar or enter key. So I'm going to press the enter key. Now you can see the boy is running. Oh, boy hit the wall. So it says oops, boy hit. Distance you have run is 29 meters. If you need to restart the game, you need to press enter and again press enter and again press enter to make the boy run. And this time I jump over them. Oh, I quit the game. So oops, boy hit. Distance you have run is 76 meters. You can see the meters is updating when you run more distance. So I'm going to exit on the screen. So here's the code I have written. So in the right side you can see the style.css file that I have used to style the web page and style my game. And also you can see in the left side the HTML file. In the top of the HTML file I have defined the version of HTML I have used, and after that you can see the HTML opening tag. After that you can see the head tag, and within the head tag you can see the title tag. The title is Wild Runner, just the background is like wild, that's why I used that name. And you can see that second line links to the style, the CSS file, to this HTML file. Rel attribute tells to the browser we are going to link a style sheet, and href attribute tells the path to the style.css file. So after that you can see the body tag. I have given a class name of that tag as body. You can see in the CSS file I have defined this body class. It has a 0 pixels of margin. Why is that 0 pixels of margin? That when we open the web content in the browser, you can see the white border around the content. So that is the margin that is applied to the body tag at the start of the HTML page. So I don't want that space, so I clear that space by specifying a 0 pixels of margin and setting that value to the body tag. So in the body tag you can see an attribute called onKeyDown. So onKeyDown is a attribute that executes a JavaScript function. You can see the function name is key event handler that accepts the event argument. So if I go to the script.js file, you can see that here's the key event handler. I accept the event argument. In the property of in the which property of event argument contains the key code that we have pressed. So here is a key 13 is the enter key, and key 32 is the space key. So I have created a couple of variables on top of this script.js file. This is speed. This contains the speed that tells us how fast the things are moving. So you can decrease that distance. If you decrease this distance, the background and the obstacles move faster. So game started. I have created this variable to keep track of the game state. So if we start the game, this variable set to 1, and if we quit the game, that means if we couldn't win the game, if we hit some obstacle, this value is set to 2s, I think. So we can see that in the die function. Yeah, we have set that value to 2, because value 0 means we didn't have start the game, value 1 means we start the game, value 2 means we have hit some obstacle. So I go to the top. I defined 3 variables to store the audio files. One audio is run audio. I have given the file name as run.mp3, and this one is jump audio, and this one is dead audio. Run audio plays when we run, and jump audio plays when we jump, die audio plays when we die. So you can see a function named start game. This what this function does is it clears the start page. We catch the start page by start page ID, so we can see that in the first element of the body tag is the start page. I have given that class name as a start end page and ID to start page. We use ID to cache this element in JavaScript, and we use classes to apply some CSS to that. If we look at the class CSS class, you can see that I have set the width to 100% because I need the full width of the browser, and I have set the height to 100 viewport height. View h means viewport height. So 100 viewport height means whatever height we have in the browser, we get that full height. So position I set to absolute because I don't want other elements to disturb this element, and background I have set to white, and C index to 2 because I need to make this element to the top of the element stack, and opacity I have set to 0.7 pixel because I need to make it a little bit transparent, and display property I have set to flex because I need to center the elements. I have used a flex direction to tell in which direction we need to align the items when we use the justify content property. Justify content property I have set to center, so it centers the element in the y-axis, and align items centers the elements in the x-axis. So I have given align items a center value. Color is black because I need to have a black text. I have used font family as Cancelas. That's my favorite font. That's why I used that font in the first page. I have used font weight to bold because I need to make text a little bit thick, and I have used font size to 80 pixels because I need to make some starting page text a little bit bigger than the ending page. So if you go to the script.js again, I have set the start page's visibility to hidden in JavaScript. This is how we use we set the CSS properties in JavaScript. So when you start the game, it catches the start game page, and JavaScript hides that element. Then we can see the game content. So I have set the game started to 1. After we start the game, we need to change the game state. So I have set the game started value to 1 to represent the game has started. So I have next a key event handler. In that handler, I use game started variable to check whether we have started a game or not. If we have started the game and if we have pressed the enter key, we need to create the obstacles, and we need to move the background and move the obstacles and make the game character run. So that's what we do in this block of code. And if game has already started, if we press the jump key, we stop running we stop running in this code block and we start to jump. You can see we play the jump audio file when we jump, we stop the run audio when we stop running. So after that, next else block. This else block executes if game has not started yet. If game isn't started yet, we check the state of the game. If game is started is equals to 2, that means if we quit the game and we press the enter key, then location.reload, we execute the location.reload command. That refreshes the web page. Then we go to the start of the web page, that where we have a start page. So after that, if the game isn't started yet and if we press the enter key and game is in not started state, we start the game. That means we hide the start page and we show the game to the user. And after that, I have set update distance function. This updates the distance, and I have created a distance worker variable to stop and start distance updating. When we end the game, we stop the distance changing, and when we start the game, we update the distance. I use this distance worker variable to keep track of that state. And so this one is a little bit special. This is a special function that I pass to the game. That means 1000 meters, we provide the boy to invisible function. That means if our boy runs 1000 meters, boy can be invisible, so obstacle doesn't hit on boy's body. So that's what I have given using this block of code. It's a special function in my game. So I have created a function called create obstacles. This function creates obstacles and put each obstacle in 800 pixels distance. So if you change the value of here, you can get more obstacles. So next I have created a move obstacles function that helps us to move the obstacles. It moves each obstacle in each iteration, so it loops 10 times. So our 10 obstacles start to move. That means start to come towards the boy. Using this if condition, I set the game quit logic. That means if our obstacle hit the boy, or if boy hits the obstacle, we quit the game. We stop everything. We stop running, jumping, and score updating, and background moving, and obstacle moving. We stop everything except the dying. So you can see here, we clears the interval of background worker, run worker, distance worker, jump worker. Each worker used to keep track of the state of that task. So only we set the interval to die worker, because we need to, when our obstacle, or when we boy hit the obstacle, we need to die, right? That's what this die function does. Every 100 millisecond I execute the die function to change the dying image. So you can see that if I show you again the game, when I start, you can see we fall. That means we die. So that's what die function does. After that, I have created a move background. This moves the background each time 20 pixels backward. Actually, boy doesn't run. Background is the thing that moves. So when the background moves and boy runs in the same place, we see boy runs actually. So next I have created a run function. This changes the run images one by one. Then we can see boy is running. I have set the run worker to control the state of running. Whenever we need to stop the run task, we use the run worker. And after that, I have created a jump function. In here you can see that when you start jumping, it increase. You can see in the jump function. Next, I have created a jump function to do jump work, and each task has a worker to control that task state. After that, I have created a die function. This die function shows the game character dies when our boy hits some obstacle. We can see boy dies slowly, and that's all in my script.js file. Next, let's move to the third element of the body tag that tells us, that represents the end page. So you can see that end page you can see that I have set the ID name as end page, and you can see class name is a little bit different. You have seen this class name before in the start page, because I need to apply all the properties in the start end page class to this end page class. That's why I use the same class for that purpose. And I have created another class called end page because I need to apply different properties. So I need to change the font size. Because of that, I use font size to 50 pixels because I need to make text a little bit smaller than the starting page. And I have set the visibility to hidden. When you start the game, we don't want to see the end page. That's why I have set the visibility to hidden. So z index is 0. We push that end page back to every element. So user never sees that except when the user quits the game. And after that, let's go to the inside of that end page. That end page content has oops word and boy hit word and distance you have run, and the distance actually our game character has run. So I use distance number ID to catch this element in JavaScript. Let me show you. In the die function, I catch that element by using the ID. Document.getElement by ID is the function I use to catch that HTML element. Then I change the inner HTML to the maximum distance we have run. So then we get the maximum distance we have run at the end of the game. You can see that when game quits, end screen pops up, and you can see that maximum distance has changed 29 meters. After that, let's move to the down. So this is a button that tells us to press enter to restart. So only you have to do is press enter to restart the game if you have quit the game. If your boy hit some obstacle, you need to press enter to restart the game. And last tag within the body tag is a script tag. This is the tag we use to link the script.js file, JavaScript file. You can see the source attribute of this tag represents the JavaScript file. I have set only the file name because my JavaScript file, HTML file, and CSS file is in the same directory. So you can see we style the press enter to restart button a little bit using the restart class. We have set the width to 100% and height to auto, but I need some space around the content, so that's why I use this padding value. Padding 20 pixels means we get the space between the border and the content. I have set the font size to 50 pixels because I need to make text a little bit bigger, and I have set font family to Lucida console, and I have set color to white. Color white means we change the text color to white. I have set the background color to black because I need a white text on background. So that's all I have included in the script.js and index.html and style.css file. So this is the game I have made.